Hi. Welcome to the Truth Factor with an Attitude
And
with Sassy Rachael.
speak a little louder.
With Sassy Rachael.
Acting like you're so shy. You're always louder here.
And then the Chihuahua. Look at the camera.
Right, Rachel and Rosie.
You almost called her a rat, Nana.
She is right. Shh, Oscar.
Oscar, shush. Am I reading now?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and
Share.
yeah, not that one.
This one?
Mm-hmm. You hit present.
Present. This one?
Mm-mm.
No, share screen.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Entire screen.
no, entire screen. Didn't notice it. Okay.
There you go. Now that. Now that. All righty. Now that. There you go.
What did I click first?
Uh-oh. You exited out, crackhead.
No, I didn't. It's still another one.
Still where?
Go click that. See, it's right there.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's.
It just got moved.
There we go. There you go. You're down here.
This one?
Mm-hmm. Read it.
Return of COVID restrictions. Do not comply. Be prepared. We know that COVID numbers are actually on the rise again, in part due to the American government's absolutely disastrous vaccine policy. As Dr. Peter wrote this week, there is no doubt we are standing another outbreak of COVID-19. This time, Omicron variations EG5 and FL151 taking the lead in proportions. Dr. McCall warns that this surge could last 3 to 6 months, as we learned time and time again during the pandemic over government will use any increase in COVID numbers as a justification to force masks, lockdowns, and a vaccine. Passports on the American public will lift this lead to another round of masks and lockdowns. Only if we allow it. Conversations all across social media are urgently. What is that word now? What is that word? Where is it at?
I don't know.
That one.
Patriots.
Patriots do not comply if restrictions return. These voices are absolutely correct. We need to stand strong and refuse to go along with these violations of our basic freedoms. There is more that we can do. However, we can also be prepared. Is that all I'm reading, or am I reading this too?
Yeah, that's all. Okay. And guys, all of the articles are in the Wixit, so you can find the. You're good. You can find it in the description in the box below. Keep going. There you go. And you're going to be on the next one.
It's on.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go again. Make America scared again. percentile election coming up to steal again. Is that Biden?
Yeah.
Am I reading that?
Mm-hmm.
The Centers for Disease Control, CDC, are warning that a new COVID variant will infect people who are vaccinated worse than others. The CDC and used the following wording about current. Am I reading that?
Mm-hmm.
Current risk assignment based on CDC knows now existing tests used to detect and medications used to treat COVID-19 appear to be effective with this variant. BA.286 may be more compatible of using infection to people who have previously had COVID-19 or who have received COVID-19 vaccines. Scientists are evaluating the infections of the forthcoming update. COVID-19 vaccine. CDC's current assignment is that this update vaccine will be effective at reducing severe disease and hospitalization. At this point, there is no evidence that this variant is causing more severe illness. That assignment may change as additional scientific whatever she said data are developed. CDC will share more as we know.
Go ahead.
Isn't that interesting? People actually took the COVID so-called vaccine are actually more
Susceptible.
to being infected.
And that's it. Okay, so we got some breaking headlines that just my son came in and gave. And so I'm going to pull it up on the screen, and Rachel's going to read it because it is in her, what she's going to be covering for us. Because sometimes I get too
Crazy. Excited.
Uh-huh. It appears that there's some CISD schools closures due to COVID already in Texas, guys. All right. Let's see this one. That's a liar. That's not the right one.
Wow.
Okay, got the wrong one, guys. Let me go see what he's talking about. We'll be right back. You continue. Where was you at? You did this one.
Mm-hmm.
Now you do that one.
How do you pronounce that word? How do you pronounce this word? Harmful algal bloom.
Harmful algae. It's supposed to be algae, but it's algal.
Algae bloom advisory issued for Lake Ashtabula. The city country health district issued this news release. Our patterns at North Dakota Department of Environmental Quality have issued a harmful algae bloom advisory for Lake Ashtabula. The blue-green algae may be harmful to humans and pets. Fish are safe to consume. Be sure to rinse thoroughly with tap water before cleaning. States Darissa will City Country Health District administer When in doubt, stay out. You can't tell for sure if an algal or bacterial bloom is harmful just by looking at it. NDDEQ will continue monitoring the lake every 2 weeks until the bloom is gone. To reduce the risk of illness, do not swim, water ski, or tube if the water looks spilled green, paint, or pea soup. Avoid swallowing water and watch small children and pets who may ingest water. Rinse off with non-lake water after swimming. Stay away from areas of scrum when boating. Rinse hands with non-lake water after landing fish. Rinse fish thoroughly with tap water before cleaning. Illness and symptoms can vary depending on how a person or animal was exposed, came into contact with algae, cyanobacteria, or their toxins, how long they were exposed, which type of toxin was present, and how much toxin was present. Symptoms in people can include stomach pain, vomiting, or diarrhea, headache, fever, tiredness, or other general symptoms, skin, eye, nose, or throat irritation, neurological symptoms such as muscle weakness or dizziness, exposure to some toxins, particularly cyanobacterial
Thompson's very good.
toxins, can also harm your liver and kidneys if you think you may have symptoms caused by harmful algae. See, they spelled it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Cyanobacteria or their toxins, contact your healthcare provider or poison control center. Animals can get very sick or even die within minutes to days after exposure to harmful algae and cyanobacteria. Seek veterinary care immediately if your pets or livestock seem sick after going in or near. Water animals are often the first infected, in part because they are most likely to swim in or drink from bodies of water that contact harmful algae or cyanobacteria. That it?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to really quick, because she's still supposed to be covering the COVID stuff. So I did find COVID. I did find, I don't know why it took me to the old things, but it's okay. There's a few school closures already due to COVID. This year. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Go ahead and this here's the Texas one. Go ahead, read that.
My mouth was stuck. School district in South Texas temporarily closes due to uptick in COVID-19 cases.
There we go.
Run, Texas, a school district in South Texas is closing temporarily after seeing a surge of COVID-19 cases among students and staff members. The superintendent of Rouge ISD announced in a letter Monday that schools will be closed from Tuesday, August 22nd through Friday, August 25th.
Well, it looks like we've already kind of passed that one, but till tomorrow anyway.
The safety and well-being of our students, staff, and community is a top priority. Superintendent Hector Dugsman Jr. said in a statement, Rouge, Texas, is in Karnes
County. Mm-hmm.
and is just under an hour and a half away from San Antonio.
Yeah.
The school district updates as COVID-19 case numbers on its website.
Okay. So then we have another one. She's going to stop reading there, and we're going to go over here to multiple Kentucky schools. We'll do this one instead of NBC. Alrighty. So we're starting off the year right, guys?
No.
At least it looks like it. Rachel says no. Okay. There you go. Read away.
Multiple Kentucky schools closed due to illness at start of new year. Then stop going to school.
Right?
In the first weeks of the academic year, multiple Kentucky schools districts are already feeling the impacts of COVID-19. Magoffin Country Schools is less than 2 weeks into the new year, yet illness has already caught up to their students' body. The district announced that all schools will be closed on Thursday and Friday due to illness. We were seeing an uptick of absentees. They were saying COVID, but they were also putting strep throat in there, and there was a virus going around, a stomach virus, said Magoffin County Health Department. Shepard says it started a combination of illness, but now COVID has risen above the rest. The last month before school, we hardly gave out any home tests. We started giving them out again, and we can't get them fast enough to give them out, Shepard said. Shepard says the district confirmed at least 40 cases on Monday and Tuesday, along with many others testing at home and keeping their kids out of school. The uptick comes in advance of a new vaccine being rolled out to combat the latest COVID strain. It's one which Shepard doesn't see his county taking much interest in. Most parents are just their kids are going to get sick with it. Will hold them home and won't send them to school. They're not worried about vaccination, Shepard said. We can't hardly give a vaccine away now for COVID. He added that's partly due to the fact they are only seeing mild cases at this point, but Shepard wants students and people at risk to be careful as these diseases continue to spread. I quit.
Okay. Are you done?
With COVID.
Okay. So she's done with this article, but you got the gist of it. Those 2 articles I will update. They will be in the Wixit. They're not there right now, but we will. Okay, I'll go to mine. Hold on. Okay. And then we have that there, and then that will complete her algae coverage. And then I will take over. Hurry and read that.
Massive algae. What did I do? There's an X.
We're going to do there. Okay.
Massive algae bloom in Gulf of Maine mystifies worry scientists.
Just hurry up.
Researchers say this kind of algae does not produce harmful toxins, but they worry its eventual die-off could lead to low oxygen levels that have preceded large fish and shellfish kills in other areas. Scientists are tracking an unusually large and long-lasting bloom of brown algae in the Gulf of Maine. The particular species of coffee-colored plankton.
Phytoplankton.
I got plankton.
Right? You did.
Tripos.
Tripos. I guess. Tripos sounds good too.
Mularily.
It's not new.
Is not new to the Gulf of Maine or a toxic on its own to sea life or humans, but it has never before been found here in such large numbers spread out over such a large area for such a long time.
That's good. I'll go help my mom. You just go. You said you wanted to cook. Okay, guys. Thank you, Miss Rachel, for your silliness.
No.
Yep. Thank you. Huh?
You're helping me cook.
Okay, I will. I got to help her cook. Papa's helping her cook till I can get in there, though. So there we go. So there's the 2 stories, and she did a wonderful job on those. Yay, Rachel. Nana doesn't have to get all crazy and irate on those stories, right? Because Renee can get really irate, right? Anyway, so let's get Renee irate, though, and let's go up here to this horrible horror stories that we're hearing and seeing, and just enough stuff to make you go, get disgustedly despicable. I just want to throw something at my TV sometimes. Even though I don't even watch this stuff on TV, I want to just destroy anything that's telling me this stuff, because it's horrible, guys. It's absolutely horrible. And we're hearing there's unconfirmed reports that it's like thousands of thousands. But anyway, let's give you what we can confirm. And this here is coming from Zero Hedge. It says a disturbing report has emerged following the Maui fires, which have killed at least 114 and have left up to 1,100 residents, many of whom are suspected to be children, unaccounted for. Well, guys, if they're unaccounted, I doubt that they're hiding somewhere. Just saying. According to the AP, Lahaina residents who disobeyed the government road barricades survived the fires, while many who heeded orders to turn around died in their cars and homes with no way out. Now, officials are facing public outrage over why the emergency sirens weren't set off and why they prevented people from fleeing to safety. Now, why in the world would you not? I mean, I'm sorry. I don't care if you're doing construction. I don't care what the heck is going on. But if we have up barricades, I believe those barricades, I would have mowed it down. There would have been nothing dang on stopping me from getting out of an area that was on fire. I'm so sorry. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. They had people. It was like they poured the gasoline to it and then lit it on fire and closed them up to where they couldn't leave. That's what it sounds like. It says, so no sirens, no water, and barricades. Early on, as the fire spread, over 30 power poles were down alongside the Palane Highway, located at the southern part of Lahaina. Officials then blocked the Lahaina bypass road, preventing law-abiding citizens from fleeing to the southern part of the island. The ones who made it disobeyed. Absolutely. And here they are. They're still here, right? I just can't fathom that they would have been, that people would not just continue on. I mean, I'm just saying. Why would you not just plow it down? Run it down. Face the consequences later. You'd be alive, right? During a press conference, Maui Police Office Chief John Petler, formerly police chief in Vegas. Yep. We already heard about that. He's a good crisis actor, I guess. Told reporters that officers never stopped residents from fleeing the area. However, AP says that residents were turned away and discouraged from disobeying the barricade. And car after car was turned back toward the rapidly spreading wildfire by a barricade blocking access to Highway 30. One family swerved around the barricade and was safe in a nearby town 48 minutes later. Another drove the four-wheel drive car down a dirt road to escape. One man took a dirt road uphill, climbing above the fire and watching as Lahaina burned. He later picked his way through the flames, smoke, and rubble to pull survivors to safety, but dozens and others found themselves caught in hellscape. Their cars jammed together on a narrow road, surrounded by flames on 3 sides and the rocky ocean waves on the 4th. Some died in their cars while others tried to run for safety. Absolutely crazy. And this Dr. Benjamin Bradwick says, echoes of Uvalde. A Lahaina mother tried to save her son and was stopped by first responders who lied to her, claiming that the area had been cleared and no one was there. She found his body 2 days later, hugging his dead dog. Oh my God. Good Lord, this is worse than Uvalde. How do police sleep at night? I have no clue, guys. I can't even imagine how any human could go along with this. It is maybe that's the point. Maybe they're not human. Maybe they're just, I don't know, clones of some sort. I can't even describe how anybody would be so detached to their feelings that they would purposely block children and family in like this during a family. I mean, come on now. Think about it. If it's your family member that's being blocked in and prevented from leaving. This is outrageous. Guys, this is disgusting. My heart is broken. Um, it's a duck. That's right, Dennis. It is absolutely a duck. Absolutely. Anyway, one couple, Nate Baird and Courtney Stapleton, told the outlet that they had loaded up their car with their two sons, Baird's mother, and a dog to escape the flames. After driving south, they swerved past cones and escaped to a neighbor town. Nobody realized how little time we really had, said Beard. Like, even us being from the heart of the fire, we did not comprehend, like we literally had minutes and one wrong turn and we would all be dead right now. According to the Beard, if they had 10 more minutes, they could have saved children who were left at home alone in their neighborhood. The kids just don't have a filter. So their son ran up and was just telling our son, this kid is dead. This kid is dead. And it's like all my son's friends that they came to come to our house every day. He said, and their parents were at work and they were home alone and nobody had a warning. Nobody knew. Just to review, the local government in Maui didn't use the sirens to alert residents to the fire, didn't allow access to water to put out the fire, and blocked the only exits out of town. This is one of the greatest scandals in American history. Many people should be in prison. And I am praying for justice. I hope you'll join me each night as we do pray for justice. It is absolutely evil. Absolutely evil. According to the report by the AP, the only road out of Lahaina was barricaded. Only those who disobeyed survived. Guys, sometimes you have to go against the grain, right? Can't always follow every direction, every order, especially if it's going to mean your survival. Meanwhile, Maui Mayor Richard Bison has been dodging questions he knows the answers to. Imagine. Nobody wants to answer these questions. This is unthinkable. It is disgusting, guys. Absolutely disgusting. I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. It has me in so many different ways, twisted, guys. And now, get this, Maui County is suing the Hawaiian Electric over the fires that devastated Lahaina, saying it failed to shut off the power company, suspends dividend. Okay. Now we got it's their fault now, right, guys? I mean, come on. Give me a break. We're gonna push the blame finger here. It's absolutely crazy, Daniel 12:1. He is the only one. Exactly, Dennis. 100%, brother. 100%. He's the only one that can save us. Absolutely. It is crazy. It absolutely is. And it does have me mad, girlfriend. It does. Anyway, I can't even envision this stuff that is taking place in this hour, guys. Then we also have an update on the Wagner plane crash. Who done it? And is Prigozhin really dead? Well, I don't know. Let's find out. The assessment out of the U.S. is changing fast, or rather, anonymous U.S. officials can't get their story straight. The latest via Newswire, the U.S. official speaks out about the Prigozhin plane crash. The U.S. doesn't think Prigozhin jet down by surface-to-air missile. An explosion likely brought down the plane believed to carry in Prigozhin. The scoop, the U.S. official needs to get their story straight. And here's the little thing right here. Anyway. Putin has vowed the criminal investigation into the widely reported death of Wagner chief Prigozhin will be pursued to the completion. Prigozhin is believed to have gone down with 9 others, including top Wagner commander Dmitry Yutke, in a plane crash outside of Moscow on Wednesday, which was caused neither by an anti-aircraft missile or possibly mid-fight bombing. Putin attended a concert as the news broke yesterday evening, even as the headline shocked the world, and also saw a flood of confused and angry statements coming from the Wagner social media channels. But Putin's motorcade was late in the night seen speeding back to Kremlin, likely where he was briefed on the plane crash. Well, guys, if you don't remember, last night we showed a video of some heavy artillery being moved through there, intercontinental missile, right? Last night. But anyway, though there are reports from officials, Russian sources, that Prigozhin body has been positively identified, there's still much that remains murky and unknown. Area residents and eyewitnesses reported hearing one or two loud bangs in the sky before the Embraer Legacy 600 executive aircraft plummeted into the Tver region north of Moscow. The private jet had been en route to St. Petersburg. Villagers saw the fall from the sky, after which everything was on fire, as cited Reuters. The only known details released thus far are from Russian Federal Aviation Authorities. Russian Emergency Situation Ministry said all 10 people on board died. The Federal Aviation Agency published manifest of 7 passengers and 3 crew. Alongside Prigozhin, the manifest said the top military commander Dmitry Yudkin and other senior Wagner figures were on board. Now, I still say that there's something don't sit well with me. I just can't see why you would have so many of your main top brass on the same plane. It just, come on, guys. It doesn't make sense, right? There was no indication that there was anything wrong with the aircraft prior to the rapid descent. At the end of the flight, Ian Pajek of Flight Radar 24 said he told Reuters the erratic climb in altitude could have been as the crew were wrestling with whatever problem they had encountered in midair. The U.S. official said that Reuters on Thursday they assess it has been a surface-to-air missile which originated inside Russia, according to the Fresh News writes. U.S. thinks missile from Russia likely shot Prigozhin plane. Explosive U.S. believes surface-to-air missile originating inside Russia, likely shot down the plane, resumed to be carrying Prigozhin, U.S. officials tells Reuters. Another scenario being considered is whether it was mid-air bombing or a terrorist act, or possibly covert operation sponsored by hostile foreign intelligence agency, or unlikely scenario of Ukraine intelligence, unlikely given the sophistication and difficulty. If it indeed was the result of the Russian anti-defenses, then it surely points to either Putin or a top military chain of command bent on getting revenge, coming precisely 2 months since the start of the June 23rd to 24th mutiny, which left a dozen or more Russian soldiers dead. The now apparently deceased 62-year-old Prigozhin had many powerful friends and enemies, but some analysts are questioning why Putin would choose to dispatch him in such a dramatic fashion. The prevailing wisdom is saying it was a message to the elites and any challengers to Putin's rule or decision-making, or a direct revenge for the prior rebellion and humiliating blow to the Kremlin. But below is an alternate opinion and speculation. It says, I am in the opinion that Putin would not use this kind of cowardly means, shooting down a passenger jet, if this turned out to have been an assassination of Prigozhin and others. This would be potentially disastrous for the war effort and for Russians. The journalist and geopolitical commander James Pizarro's writes the extreme risk Putin faces if he is ordered the assassination. This would be potentially disastrous for the war effort and Russian public opinion, especially in professional military circles and on the right. Arresting him like Strelkov was and would be the course of action, I would suspect, if the issue between Putin and Prigozhin was so severe. And then already there's talk of a new Wagner march on Moscow. Well, who wouldn't? And then there's the lingering question of the second plane owned by Wagner and Prigozhin. And then we have, as part of their efforts to obfuscate his travels, the same analyst added, let's not be surprised if he pops up shortly in a new video from Africa. Just saying. Stranger things have happened, right, guys? I guess. I don't know. People come back from the dead all the time, right? I don't know. Just... I just don't even know what to think. I'm not going to read anymore, but it is in the Wixit here, guys, for your viewing pleasures. If you want to continue to read on, it's definitely, it's just definitely just so many things. to even consider there, guys. Question, Miss Carol says. I don't know, and that does raise questions in itself, Carol. I mean, absolutely, it does. Right, Dennis? I hear you, brother. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know. It makes absolutely no sense for Putin to do it. I mean, in all honesty. But the last I heard, he was in Africa, 100%. That's what I'd heard. But now all of a sudden, he's going back to St. Petersburg, like they were going for a dinner party or something. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It's not adding up. I'll definitely tell you that. Lots of questions to be asked. Okay. So then we have Trump heading to the airport to fly to Georgia. Yep. As you can see, his motorcade rolling in there. And he's probably doing it in about 20 minutes. It's a little after 6 here. Then we have, and it says about 7:30. The FAA also closes airspace over the Fulton County Jail ahead of Trump's arrival in Atlanta, of course. Here is the former White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, mugshot released. I mean, they have been arresting a lot of people, guys. It's absolutely crazy. And then here we go, guys. For those that want to know the drum roll here for the ratings are in, according to, I guess, the Nielsen rating system here. We have the Fox News debate had 51 million viewers, but Tucker Carlson now and the Donald Trump interview had 218 million views. 218 million views, guys. Wow, that's huge, isn't it? Huge, I tell you, huge. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And then we also have, I hear you, Daryl. Then we also have Jim Jordan is launching an inquiry whether Fulton County DA and Fannis Willis coordinated with federal officials. So here we can see Mr. Willis on August 14th, you brought 41 counts of indictments against the 19 defendants, including the former president, the White House Chief of Staff, the former U.S. Department of Justice, and related to this 2020 election, and 19 other individuals. 30 unindicted or co-conspirators, I guess is what it says here, guys. It's kind of small. It's really hard to read. Anyway, so they're turning first to the question of the motivation. It is noteworthy that just 4 days before this indictment, you launched a new campaign fundraising website that highlighted your investigation into Trump. Additionally, the forewoman of the special grand jury you convened to investigate Trump earlier this year bragged during an unusual media tour about her excitement at the prospect of subpoenaing Trump and getting to swear him in last week. The Fulton County Superior Court clerk publicly released a list of criminal whatever. So, yeah. I think that they need to be doing a lot more than just asking questions, though, in my opinion. I think this is all definitely railroading, all kind of just, just throwing the book at them, guys. They really are here. And it's just it's it's outstanding to see the twist that it's taken anyway. But again, hopefully they'll get to present their cases. That's all I can say. But I'll tell you, guys, it's not looking good. Bipartisan bill aims to block Chinese purchase of U.S. farmland. Now, guys, I think that this is a good move. I'm for this. I really am. I don't know about you guys, but I think that this should have been something that has been in the books per se all along. I don't know what you feel about it. You let me know. But it says a bipartisan proposal introduced in the U.S. House on May 17th aims to block Chinese Communist Party affiliates from taking hold of U.S. farmland, adding to the growing bipartisan push in Congress to counter threats from the regime in Beijing. I think it's long overdue. In a personal opinion, the United States can no longer turn a blind eye to the threats posed by the Chinese Communist Party. Let's see, we'll go up here. The prohibition covers any person or entity owned by, controlled by, or subject to the jurisdiction or direction of a foreign adversary. Among them are Iran, North Korea, China, and Russia, with the exception of U.S. citizens and permanent residents. And as the only Virginian of the U.S. House Agriculture Committee, I'm committed to protecting America's farms and farm families from foreign threats. Amen. Amen. 1 acre that is owned by Chinese Communist government or any agent thereof is a big concern, especially near Whitman Air Force Base in my district, home of the B-2 stealth bomber. He said something has to change. And I agree. I absolutely unequivocally agree here. It says we are partnering with the Taiwanese military leadership to make sure they can defend themselves from possible invasion from the Chinese military operation. We must be able to effectively monitor who is growing, producing, and marketing our food, safety, and agricultural products. Lacking the ability is clear threat to national security. Well, what do you think? Lordy, lordy, lordy. And then we have... Thank you. It's official. BRICS adds the Saudi Arabia, Iran, Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the UAE will control 80% of the global oil. It's official. Saudi Arabia, Iran, Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, and the United Arab Emirates will become full members of the BRICS on January 1st, 2024. All told, BRICS nation will control 80% of global oil and gas production. The map below lays out what the newly enlarged BRICS will look like. Wow, guys. Wow. That's huge. Cutting right to the chase, it should be stated that the powers that be cannot survive without the World War III. If the current globalist cabal stands back and does nothing, as the new Commerce Alliance comes to life on January 1st, 2024, they may wake up to find that no one in any of the other countries shown above will accept the US dollar or the euro as payment for trade in goods and services anymore, because both the dollar and the euro are backed by nothing. They may find that no one around the world is willing to sell oil in US dollars anymore and could demand that we convert our currency to some other currency to buy oil. Now, guys, you think the digital currency is the answer, but the digital currency is not the answer either, because it's not backed by anything. It's in thin air, really. I mean, come on. Or we could say it's in the fiber errors, I guess. It's crazy. The way the Biden regime has curtailed our own oil and gas production, we would see shortages and price increase, the likes of which has never been seen before. Since we are the United States, do not manufacture much of anything here anymore because of corporate imbeciles shipped all our manufacturing jobs overseas, we could see our ability to buy things for import severely curtailed. Let's not forget economic sanctions. It was excessive and arbitrary use of economic sanctions by the U.S., which spurred the countries around the world to seek out and now create some other means for settling international trade, because they got tired of the U.S. imposing sanctions and forbidding the use of U.S. dollar by countries under sanctions. Now that the BRICS is creating its own gold-backed currency for settlement of international trade debt, the U.S. won't have any clout anymore, because it won't be able to sanction pretty much anybody. The U.S. government will be toothless on economic sanctions, but the rest of the world will not. What if the rest of the world decides it is payback time for the U.S.? What if they impose economic sanctions upon us? The new BRICS organization and its coming currency could make that a reality. All these facts make clear that the powers that be simply cannot allow the BRICS to go any further, or the TPTB will lose their grip on controlling the world. Some of the TPTB are such egomaniacs, they would rather burn the entire world to the ground rather than lose control over it. Thus, it seems logical to me that the World War III is coming before the end of the year, perhaps a lot sooner than that, but that's just my view. Stay tuned. And that, again, is from Hal Turner, guys. And then we have from End Time Headlines here. Bank of America has closed accounts connected to a Christian outreach ministry, guys. Oh yeah. Um, it's just getting it's just getting started in that direction of the persecution. It's going to be pretty hard if you're affiliated with these with Christ, and which, if anybody is running scared, you shouldn't, because Jesus told us that we would be persecuted and hated for his name's sake. And if you've been following me, I believe back in February, I received a word that the Lord told me that, back in February, that his people were going to would start being kicked off the beast system, period. So it's kind of crazy. Anyway, to see these things taking place right now. Did Bank of America discriminate against a Tennessee ministry over its Christian views, or was it simply a business matter? Steve Happ, a board member and founder of Indigenous Advance, a Memphis-based charity that, along with the Indigenous Advance Customer Center, LLC, has partnered with and served Indigenous people in Uganda since 2015 to provide basic needs and share the gospel. Despite holding a deposit in a credit card accounts with Bank of America since its inception, Indigenous Advance received serious letters in April in which the bank announced it was closing the group's accounts within 30 days. According to the nonprofit legal group Alliance Defending Freedom, the only explanation provided in the letter was that upon the review, the accounts, we have determined you're operating in a business type. We have chosen not to serve as at Bank of America. So, guys, that tells me, Bank of America, if you're doing business there, it's a place that you don't want to do business at. And it has already begun. It has indeed. I mean, come on. We've covered articles about people being asked to leave the Mall of America for wearing a certain shirt that talked about Christ. We've had them being thrown out of the malls for singing or whatever, talking. You're getting arrested. We've seen them get arrested for saying God or reciting a Bible verse. I mean, we've covered all that here. The persecution is heating up, guys. The persecution is heating up. Now they're going to try and chop you down where it goes, where the road meets the pavement here, guys. They're going to take away your finances, and you're going to have to choose who to serve. You're going to serve man and the money, the beast system, or are you going to serve Christ? It's plain and simple. Absolutely plain and simple. So the group's deposit account had over 270,000, according to the ADF, a partner entity, Indigenous Advanced Customer Center, and the church operating the group's address, Servants of Christ Community, DBA University House of Prayer, received similar letters closing their accounts. Happ said after experienced shock and confusion upon receiving one of the letters that referenced the Indigenous Advanced business type, he reached out to multiple times to Bank of America. I asked him, what type of business do you think we are? And they wouldn't answer me. He told the Christian Post via phone Wednesday, they said, I'm sorry, we cannot give you that information. Far from being simply an inconvenience, Happ said Bank of America's actions significantly disrupted the group's outreach and impact. When they closed the accounts, it meant that people who are dependent on us couldn't eat. He said, to us, it's not that big of a deal if your paycheck is delayed for a day or two. For Ugandans, they live day by day trying to find where they're going to find their next meal. So, guys, tonight we will be praying for this group. I'll tell you, I know God is going to God will provide, guys. The enemy may have jumped here, and but God will provide. But guys, you have to know that the day is coming where you're going to have to, choose literally your life and the beast system, or you're going to choose Christ, and you're going to be, in a different situation. So definitely be prepared. I know you guys think I'm just some Christian thumper crazy woman, but I am. But I'm also telling you the truth. And if you don't believe me, read your Bible. It's in there. It's in there. Anyway, then we have also the new AI app allows you to communicate with Jesus and Satan. Oh, yeah. Isn't that just crazy? Guys, if anybody thinks that this is something that's cool, let me tell you. The only communication that you need to have with Jesus is you need to speak to him directly. You don't need your phone. There's no app that you need to have. You need to open up your Bible. You need to be in prayer and capiche. That's it. I can't imagine anybody wanting to talk to Satan, but that's another thing. I mean, this is ridiculous. This is just, again, we can see where technology is going. A Bible thumper. How's that, Daryl? I know you've heard of a Bible thumper. Anyway, it's not every day that the spiritual realm intersects with smartphone tech, but in the era of chatbots and AI, even the biblical figures aren't immune. Welcome to the world of text with Jesus, where you're just a tap away from a conversation with the holy, and for a price that not so holy, for those longing for a more personal connection to their faith. This app might be the digital salvation they're seeking. Okay, so do you get it? The digital salvation? Come on, guys. You don't need no digital salvation. This is just, to me, blasphemy. But anyway, we'll continue. Designed with devoted Christians in mind, Text with Jesus promises interaction with figures like Jesus, Mary, Joseph, Peter, and Matthew. This app wears it spiritually on its screen, guiding you through its queries with responses minded from the depths in the Bible rich text. There's certain an audacity in allowing you to go beyond the traditional interactions one might expect. Although a full range of figures and unlimited messaging are only available to premium subscribers, the app is free to download and use on eligible devices. The app's most controversial feature, conversations with Satan himself, expectations can be deceiving, especially in the world of AI. Satan, historically the symbol of temptation and deceit, dons a surprisingly mellow avatar in this app. Users anticipating fiery dialogues or cutting deceptions might be left scratching their heads. Instead, the Prince of Darkness champions love, respect, and understanding, values synonymous with biblical virtues. As if the ensure a modern flavor, each devilish interaction ends with a smiling face with horns emoji. It's an odd mix of solemnity and sass, which will undoubtedly spark reactions from traditionalists and tech enthusiasts alike. Now, whether it's deliberate attempt to challenge perceptions or just programming oversight remains a topic for debate. However, it is important to note that interaction with Satan is turned off by default and must be manually enabled by you if you choose to engage with this figure. Guys, this is just disgusting. I can't even imagine. I pray none of you fool with this. I just can't imagine. It's just, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, we'll continue. Oh, well, lovely Rachael covered this for us, the return of the, restrictions. And she covered this one as well about the, here we go again. She did a wonderful job, don't you think? I think so. And she also covered the harmful algae bloom advisory issued for Lake Ashtabula, as well as the algae bloom there in Gulf of Maine. Mystified. Yeah. I don't think she got to this. Oh, be quiet, dog. Multiple people are reporting a light shaking as a 2.8 magnitude earthquake hits the Los Angeles metro area. So there we go, guys. Then we have our little 4-year ice section. There's an update here on another live thing on the Prigozhin reported dead in the jet crash. And then there's the Trump top 5 Tucker interview moments watch from the Gateway. We will cover the RSOE event list just because, if you guys know, this is one of those things I'm wanting to just check on daily because I think it's interesting to get all this information. Anyway, there was an elephant and calf terrorism organ outside community in Paul's Libre today. Then let's see, we're just covering the 24th things. There was a shooting, 4 dead in a mass shooting in Southern California bar, authorities say. There was also in India, 9 cops among 15 injured as a cement plant protest turns violent in Meghalaya. Let's see. That was in February. Southern Ocean, a catastrophic loss. Huge colonies of emperor penguins saw no chicks survive last year as sea ice disappears. That's a huge ecological disaster there, guys. Then we have here in the United States, a petroleum asphalt remains in Yellowstone River even after a cleanup from the train derailment. That was in there. And let's see. And then this is that algae bloom that we covered. That one there is in the Gulf of Maine. Then we have a couple of fires. Hundreds of Arizona students displaced after a fire at Palo Verde East Dorm in Tempe. In Canada, fire rips through a social housing complex in Chautauqua, Pew. Then there's Indonesia, 2 killed in a fire in Indonesia capital. Then we have outdoor fires. Portugal, hundreds of firefighters battling a blaze in Mindoro. And then we have a Turkey, firefighters contain wildfires in the northwestern central Turkey. And let's see. Then we have some earthquakes, guys. A 6.0 in the northern Pacific, a 5.8. It's probably, no, it's a couple of minutes apart, but they're both in Japan. That's probably the same as that one, but it could be different. Let's see. Then there's the Bismarck Sea, a 4.6, sorry, in Papua New Guinea, Oceania. And then one in Congo, DRC, Africa, 4.6. And then there was one in the North Pacific Ocean, a 4.0. And then we have also Vanuatu, Oceania, 4.0. Or North Pacific Ocean. This is at a different time, so it's a different one, a 4.0. And then there's another one in Asia, Indonesia, a 4.0. And another one at Vanuatu, Oceania, a 5.0. There was a rock slide near the Dead Sea in Israel, killing a 5-year-old boy and injures 6 others. And then here are some of the active volcanoes. They kind of look like the same as we had the other day, but this does have today's date on them. Anyway, so let's see. Here's a new flood. Mexico, flood risk in the Yucatan alert for municipalities. Anyway, and that's it. All right, guys. There was several building collapse after a land cave in Ani area in Himachal Pradesh, Kulu in India. And that was today. Nigeria, 2 fatalities, injured and 37 rescued. Abuja Plaza collapsed. China, 2 dead, 10 injured. China building collapses. And India, Nava Mambu, 2 dead. Anyway, so there we go. That is what we have for y'all today. That is the headlines. God is good. Anyway. It is cuckoo, isn't it? Hi, Invader. Yeah, there's been a lot of whispers of that here lately, Invader. All I can tell you is it's a sad day. Sad day, right? And that's all I can say, guys. That is all I can say. Sad day. Anyway, guys, I love you all. I do. I hope you all have had a wonderful, blessed day. It is, 6:35. We've been going at it for a little over an hour, and we really do thank Rachael for helping. She really enjoys this, guys. She tries, and she's a joy. She's doing a wonderful job, I think. Anyway, and we'll just have her do just a couple little headlines every day, unless she decides she's had enough. But she does try to help me, and so she's just a joy. Anyway, God bless you all. And I thank you all so much. Hope to see you tonight for Bible. It will probably be, it's after 6:30 here. So it'll probably be around 7:15. I don't know how close they are to having dinner ready, but I know that they are working hard on it. Anyway, I love you all. I thank you all. And God bless you. Hope to see you later for Bible. Bye.